In pursuit of stability, Türkiye revisits the global crisis and proposes new approaches. This video series sheds light on Türkiye's stabilizing role. The Israel-Palestine issue has defined the history and politics of the region we know today as the Middle East. The Zionist drive to establish an independent Jewish state in Palestine has upended the lives of millions of Palestinians. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 and Britain's support for a Jewish homeland eventually led to the creation of Israel in 1948. For Palestinians, this was the Nakba, or the Great Catastrophe, in which millions were forced from their homes. Marking the start of decades of ongoing occupation and settlement activity was defined as illegal even by the UN. In what little remains of Palestinian territories, Israel has pursued a policy of blockades and violence, claiming thousands of lives and leaving countless others struggling for the most basic rights and necessities. Among the international community, Türkiye has taken a leading role in efforts to protect the rights of Palestinians.
İsrail işgali altındaki Filistin toprakları.
Despite being the first Muslim-majority country to recognize Israel, Türkiye supported the demand for an independent Palestinian state based on the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. As two major powers in the Eastern Mediterranean region, relations between Türkiye and Israel have run hot and cold for decades. Israel's use of violence against Palestinians and their supporters had been a significant bone of contention. President Erdogan had repeatedly criticized Israel's violence in international forums, including a strong speech at Davos in 2009 after Israeli forces killed 1,300 Palestinians in Gaza. And relations soon broke down in 2010 after Israeli commandos killed 10 Turkish activists on a ship that tried to take aid to the blockaded Gaza Strip. The ebb and flow in bilateral ties continued before another collapse in 2018. Türkiye recalled its ambassador after Israel killed dozens of Palestinians protesting to return to their lands. However, the move toward reconciliation gathered steam last year, with phone calls between President Erdogan and Israel's Isaac Herzog. When Israel attacked Gaza again in 2021, Erdogan was at the forefront of diplomatic engagement, speaking to various world leaders and Israeli politicians in a bid to broker peace. Ankara's outreach with Israel in recent years has led to tangible progress and a visible Dante this year. In March, Herzog became the first Israeli head of state to visit Türkiye since 2007, followed by reciprocal trips by the Turkish and Israeli foreign ministers. Despite their differences, the two countries have made sure that bilateral trade continued growing gradually over the years. In 2021, their annual trade volume was around $7 billion. There is another driving force in the most recent push for normalization. Israel's natural gas discoveries in the Eastern Mediterranean opened the way for strategic dialogue with Ankara. As the region's largest consumer of oil and gas and a significant transit country, Türkiye has long maintained that energy can be a unifying factor among regional powers. Israel also stands to benefit from Türkiye's geographical location, which allows for cheaper transport to Europe. Tourism is another sector that will benefit from the ongoing rapprochement. This was evident in 2021 as the number of Israeli tourists to Türkiye jumped 57% from the previous year. In the security realm, Türkiye recently caught Iranians in the country who were believed to be planning attacks on Israelis. This has been praised by Tel Aviv on multiple occasions. Contrary to what many would believe, the Palestinian leadership has been supportive of the bid for rapprochement between Türkiye and Israel. They view it as a logical step that will help an effort for a sustainable solution to the Palestine-Israel issue. Warmer ties between Ankara and Tel Aviv can improve regional security and stability and could be a harbinger of prosperity for both sides. Moving forward with a clear objective, Türkiye has also shown the world that normalizing relations with Israel will in no way compromise its Palestine policy. For Ankara, this is a step toward long-evasive stability and prosperity in the Middle East, and yet another attempt to resolve the Israel-Palestine issue once and for all.